Good morning, good morning. Good morning, y'all. I am tired this morning, but I'm thankful to be woke. It is Monday morning. Sun pretty out. Let me show y'all. See how pretty it is out here in Charlotte, North Carolina today, y'all. See the lake, the shadows of the trees in the lake. Oh boy, I'm beat. I've been working all weekend, and I am tired, but not tired enough to get on here. I've been up since like 6, I think, cleaning. You know, the things a mother has to do. You know, in real world, real life. Um, for those that don't know me, this is Jacqueline Richardson. It's JJ Diamond, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. Today we're going to talk about what me and Egypt experienced throughout the COVID quarantine. Now, for those that don't know, I worked the whole COVID quarantine, okay, except for 2 weeks. And the reason being I stayed home for 2 weeks is because I was exhausted, okay? And I went, let me tell y'all now, for those that know, here in Charlotte, I was back into the elderly lifestyle, taking care of the elderly. And I pulled back from that to go to school. Okay, so I was in school. I was working and going to school at the same time. It was really difficult. Okay, then it got to the point where I had to pull back from work. And when the COVID first hit, the week before they shut down the country, I was out there doing my clinicals in the nursing home. Okay, when COVID hit, my last day of school, they actually took our temperatures and stuff to see what was going on before we go out and deal with the residents. Whew, it was rough. Right after that, they closed the country down. So I was also doing Instacart. When they closed down the country, Americans wasn't prepared. You know, they didn't have no food, no water. It was unreal. Okay, so I went straight from going to school, working, going right into this quarantine and helping the people of Charlotte, you know, and on the outskirts of Charlotte. Now, when I was out there, I seen a lot of people. A lot of people wasn't prepared. A lot of people. People were fighting. People were trying to take all the water, all the toilet tissue, all of everything that was on the shelf. It didn't matter if it was a can of dog food. They took it off the shelf, okay? Now, for those that don't know about Instacart, I mean, Instacart has made a big impact on America throughout this COVID. So majority of the United States should know about Instacart. It's based out of California. And I've been with Instacart for 2 years, but I wasn't working Instacart that much. I really didn't like it in the beginning because it was a slow pace because we didn't know what it was going to be like, you know. So I went and did my job and, you know, learned to do it once. It was needed. Okay, I'm going to say that. But during the COVID, it was needed, okay? People could not come out to get food. You know, there were some that had medical issues that they couldn't come out. The elderly, some people that just listened to what the government said, stay home, and they would use Instacart. What is the other ones? I think it's a few others, but those companies don't actually do too much shopping at the markets. You know, so they couldn't get the things that Instacart was able to get. You know, first I want to shout out the supermarkets, you know, for being there for us, staying strong, getting through this with us. You know, Food Lion, big one. You know, that's one of our biggest customers. Publix is, well, Publix is actually the biggest, but Food Lion, excuse me, is the second biggest. However, Um, with that being said, I just want to shout them out. You know, we got Costco's, Sam's Club. All these, I wasn't too happy about all these, and I'll tell y'all a story about all these a little bit later. But they were one that we were able to shop at to help the people. Wine and Spirits. It's a lot of stores that we are able to shop at. Target. Shout out to you guys. You know, Target was really like the last alternative for most people because the other stores didn't have any food. You know, they were just out. And it was nothing you can do about it. People had money, but they didn't have no way to get the food. And this is where we came into play. Okay? I want to tell y'all some stories. You know, I've gotten people, take a badge, they got all this stuff. And they'll say, I would be refunding majority of their order. And they'll say to me, well, what do the store have? Is there anything? I need food. So I would take a picture of the shelf to show them empty shelf, you know. And meanwhile, I'm like feeling bad inside because, you know, I'm out at all the markets. So me being out at all the markets, I'm able to pick up something here if I see it, pick up something there if I see it, you know. So I was able to get what I needed. Oh, Lord Jesus, Fresh Market. Shout out to you guys. I love y'all. But anyway, because there was no meat, y'all. I'm going to be honest with y'all. There was no meat in the city of Charlotte, nowhere. And the only market that brought in meat in Charlotte, okay, every 3 days was the Fresh Market. And I love you guys. Thank you. I wouldn't have had no meat to feed my family, you know, if it wasn't for them. Granted, I paid a little bit more for it, but it was fresh because they're a Fresh Market. They cater to the organic and the real fresh food. So I love you guys. Shout out to y'all. Matter of fact, I have to come through because I haven't seen y'all in a long time. But They specialize in produce, you know, stuff like that, and a lot of organics. So I'm thankful that they are here in Charlotte. You know, we have Whole Foods, we have a few other ones, but the Fresh Market really did it for us here in Charlotte. For those that didn't have any meat to eat, you know, some of us can live without meat. I'm one that can, because I can't really digest it anyway. So I was able to eat just, you know, vegetables and fruits. However, there's some people that just gotta have that meat, okay? And my family is one that they just have to have that meat. So I had to find the meat. You know, we always have one soldier in every family, you know, and, you know, majority of the time that soldier in this family is myself, you know, and everybody has that one soldier that will go above and beyond to make sure that their family survive, you know. Going back to Instacart, I've had people begging to just bring them anything that's eatable because they didn't have food in their home, you know. Kids, they had kids, they needed cereal, they needed milk, and none of this stuff was in the stores, people. And I'm not telling y'all no lie, okay? No milk, no eggs, no butter, no biscuits, it was nothing, okay? The shelves were wiped clean because there were people that were savages that came out and bought up everything because they had a pocket full of money. Yet and still, they forgot about the other people, okay, that couldn't get out to the stores, okay? And even if they couldn't get out to the stores, they sent somebody, Instacart, but they still couldn't get the food. So a lot of them people were hungry, okay? I had one lady, it got to the point where, let me go back, I'm going to go back. It got to the point, and shout out to all the Instacart workers that work during quarantine. And I also want to shout out all the people that came from California to help us here with Instacart. There's a lot of people here from California. that worked for Instacart, and they came here and they were here to help us through this tragic time. So shout out to California on that one. And we thank you. We love you. Where was I going? Oh, it was one lady. She said, do they have this? Do they have that? So I'm like taking pictures, of the stuff that they do have. My allergies are bothering me this morning, y'all. Of the stuff that they do have to try to show her. And she was like, they don't have anything. I said, yeah, I know. They didn't even have rice. Now, rice is something that you can put together with anything. I told y'all, when I was going through what I went through as a child, I didn't have nothing but rice and onions, but it kept me alive. I'm here to talk to y'all today. There wasn't even any rice in these stores, okay? Then we would get to one store, and they would have maybe jasmine rice, parboiled rice. And I bought the stuff because I felt like even if I didn't have what I wanted, I had something, okay? And this is the way the people were starting to think. But if there's nothing on the shelf, how can you possibly get something? I don't care if you're a millionaire and you're hungry. If there's nothing on the shelf for you to buy, you're not going to get it. Okay, people couldn't get water. Okay, they were fighting over water. It was crazy. You see them in Costco's and Walmart and Food Lion. It got to the point where they had to tell them, no, just one case of water per family. And how can a whole family, say a family of 8, live off of one case of water? So these are the things that I want y'all to see and understand when they're talking about Trump doing the country wrong. Now, Trump could have closed the country down completely. And there would have been some people that would have just not had anything. And they would have died from starvation, And this is the reason why I'm doing this, okay? It's not that I'm a big Trump supporter. No, I'm not, because I can't even vote. I own a nonprofit. And in the state of North Carolina, people that own nonprofits are not supposed to stand at the polls and deal with the political parties. So that's why I can't vote. This is on you guys. However, I am bringing to your attention, okay, what's right is right and wrong is wrong. You're not going to make up a lie, okay? And this is what I'm hating that people are doing right now. They're making up lies about this man, and it's not right. You know what I mean? Because if it was me, I would have did what China did and shut down the country, and y'all would have starved, okay? And that's just keeping it real, because, my theory was, I don't want this COVID to spread. So we got to kill it now, because the way I think, fix the problem ASAP, okay? So that way, and this is something I'm going to tell y'all, this is something that I learned from Trump throughout this duration, okay? Was always one, if you fix the problem now, get rid of it, you won't have to deal with it anymore, okay? Where what I've learned from Trump is sometimes you have to let a problem ride itself until it goes away. Okay? And I didn't understand in the beginning I was screaming at him in the beginning while y'all screaming at him now. Okay? I was saying, and y'all look at my Facebook pages, close the country, China done it, close the country. Trump didn't listen, and I kept saying, why are you not listening? He needs to listen to what China is saying, do. Now, China closed their country, they didn't give a damn. Okay? They said, no, this is not going, we got to get rid of this. Okay, we're going to spray these streets, we're going to do whatever it takes to get rid of this, because the stake of our country going down is now. So we got to fix this now. So I would have thought like China, okay? Where Trump thought a little bit different. He said we got kids out here. We got elderly out here. We have all of these people out here that don't even have food, that live day to day, okay? Now, I'm a nonprofit, and I had a person knock on my door for food. The churches people was looking for food, and this is what we do when we don't have food. We go to the churches or the nonprofits and get food. Okay? But during a quarantine, how are you supposed to go and look for food? Okay? Now, we know that not everybody has money like that, and people are on budgets, There's some people that's strictly government, you know what I mean? They get Social Security checks or food stamps, But this is where you have to cut some of your other stuff, people, and say, all right, this month, I normally buy a bunch of, say, cookies, okay? But I'm going to cut back on 2 of them cookies, packs of cookies, so I can get some canned goods to put in my cabinet, just in case something like this happens again. Okay? The same process when hurricane season. We start preparing for hurricane season because we know it's coming. Okay? But when COVID hit, it wasn't hurricane season, so people wasn't prepared. Okay? You're supposed to be prepared all the time. So that way, you don't have to get ready. When he says you got 24 hours at this time, we shutting down the country, get what you can get. Now this is when the savages come out. The rich people come out and say, well, shoot, I got $1 million in the bank. I'm going to buy me a whole case of water. But what about the other people? Did you think about them? No, you didn't. Now when that water run out, you can't go back to the store and get no more water because now they put a limit on it. Now you can only have 1 case for your family. Okay? So these are the things that we need to look at. We need to be thankful, and I want to definitely shout out God, and covering those that's still alive with us today. You know what I mean? Those that did get the COVID and survived it. Jehovah, thank you. And I just have to say that. Thank you. And I'm one of those that was out there every single day with people with the COVID. Walking around, going to their homes, dropping off their food. I had... It was funny, I had one kid, well, not a kid, it was a family, actually, but the kid came to the door. The kids always snatch the door open, and I'm like, you act like you excluded from COVID. Well, why are you opening the door? But I did everything possible, because I didn't know if I had it, and I didn't want to give it to them. But I followed all precautions that was given via news and my Instacart, and what I was taught back in Maryland, and what I was taught in school recently. So I was prepared, and I did everything that they told me to do in order for me to overcome not getting this bacteria in my body. So now I go to this one house, and I sit the packages down, and there's always some people that always want to snatch open the door. This is what kills me. They know that we're going through the COVID, okay? And instead of them just letting their packages sit, for a certain amount of time. And I did have those that would say, I'm not coming to the door, but I see you, thank you, If they're giving you a tip, they'll put it outside or whatever the case may be in the wave or whatever the case may be. However, some people just wanted to see what was going on the outside, okay? See a face because they've been in the house so long. So they'll snatch the door open and you're like, oh, God, here we go. I don't know if you got COVID. I don't know how long you've been in the house. I don't know if you're one of the essential workers that I got to be careful of. I don't know who you are, but I'm bringing you your food because I know that you're in need. So, like I said, they would snatch open the door and they want to talk, okay? Because they just so happy to see a human being, you know what I mean? Because everybody's in quarantine. Everybody has to stay in the house. So there was this one kid, and I had to get some diapers for his sister, okay? And they didn't specify on the app if it was for a girl or for a boy. And I kept writing them. They couldn't get the signal, They missed the signal. I guess they didn't have signal at their house to get the message, okay? Because they kept saying, we didn't get it now. And I showed them. I said, look where I wrote y'all. So the little boy said, does it really matter what Pampers it is? Because we ain't going nowhere. This was like a 4-year-old. Because I kept saying, I'm so sorry because I had got the wrong kind. I think I got for a boy and it was for a girl. And the kid said, it don't even matter. Who's going to see it? We can't go anywhere. And I had to laugh, because here this little kid, and it was an Indian little boy. And I had to laugh because he realized what was going on in the world, that they were in quarantine. He understood. So why should it matter if a girl wears boy diapers? They the same, you know what I mean? And they're not going. Who's going to see it? Just like you said, So I had to laugh. I had some fun moments out there, and I had some bad experiences out there where I pull up, and it may be an older person, and you don't want to go into their home. However, you say to yourself, they can't get out the wheelchair, or lift these bags. So what do I do, And sometimes I would have to go above and beyond and step into their home and put their bags where they can grab the food. I had one customer, shout out to Indian Trail. In Indian Trail, his wife had just passed away. She was having issues before the COVID, and she had passed away, so he was alone. So now he's dealing with not only the COVID, dealing with his wife passing away, and he's in a wheelchair. Okay? Now, how do you manage, mentally? Forget about the physical part because he's in a wheelchair, so that's a big ordeal as well. But what about the mental, When he came to the door, first thing he did was handing me a thing of Clorox wipes, and I was grateful because he thought about my well-being just as well as his well-being. And I took the Clorox wipes, wiped my hands, grabbed the bags, and brought them in and put them down where he suggested, so he would be able to get to them. It was a lot of people out there like that, you know what I mean, where they couldn't get to the door or they couldn't get out. They just couldn't get out. Some people that didn't have cards. Now, I want y'all to understand, it wasn't only rich people, because I was in Ballantyne a lot, I was in Weddington, I was in, Lord, Matthews, Monroe. I was a little bit of everywhere. So it wasn't only rich people that was using Instacart, okay? There was a lot of poor people as well, okay? Middle class people, a lot of blacks, a lot of whites, a lot of Indians, a lot of Chinese. It didn't matter. Of all race, they were using Instacart. So it's not about the money, okay? It was the need for food. We cannot live without food. Okay, that's just the bottom line, and you guys got to start realizing that the worst can happen. We could wake up, okay, and I want y'all to check out this movie. I'm going to go back a little bit. This movie called Live. China released it. It's on Netflix, okay? And it was this boy. His mom told him, the first thing his mom told him was to go shopping for him and his sister. Okay? And he forgot. And he woke up that next morning. He woke up the next morning and looked at the news, and they said, the country is now on quarantine. Do not leave your home. Now, during our quarantine, some of us just said, hey, I'm going outside. I don't care. But guess what? If it was zombies, you wouldn't be able to go out there. Not saying we're going to get zombies, people, okay? Don't take it literal, okay? However, COVID was the zombie, okay? And if you step outside, this is what you can get. This is why the government kept saying stay home. He literally, in this movie, could not go out because if he did, the zombies was going to get him. Okay, he was going to die. And the moral of the story was to stay alive. Okay, just like us during COVID. The moral of our story, what we went through in real life, was to stay alive, whether it was to stay away from the people with COVID or to survive eating, okay? Well, he had no food because he ain't go shopping, like his mama told him. You know, sometimes it pays to listen, people. Now, Obama, I want to bring Obama up now. Now, y'all know Obama's out of office, but Obama told us, you know, and this is what kills me, you know, when I talk to you people, you know, and I have to shake my head at some of the things that y'all say and y'all gather in your minds. Like, where do y'all get this stuff? Obama told us that this was going to happen. He told us. He just didn't know the exact date. And a lot more is to happen that he told us about. But are y'all ready? See, that's the key. Are y'all ready for the worst? No, you're not. Okay? So, Trump knew that y'all wasn't ready because y'all have no discipline. You know, people say to me, like, every month I will go shopping. You know, and people here in Charlotte vouch for it. And, well, Maryland, they like that anyway. You know, they're very disciplined. Well, where I came from, Harford County, very disciplined. Every month you go shopping, you buy all your needs. If you catch something on sale, you buy it while it's on sale, even if you have to sacrifice those pair of shoes you wanted because you're going to catch that sale and get it while you know, for a cheaper price and have it. Okay? This is what we did in Maryland. And I brought that here to Charlotte with me. You know, and people would look at me. I'd be bringing all these bags and boxes of toilet paper and paper towels and laundry detergent. You know, you come in my house, I got all this laundry detergent and just everything I need, you know. And the reason being is because we were preparing for what Obama talked about. Okay? Now, I don't know if there's a difference between being in Maryland, in Washington area, the DMV area, than being all around the world. But we listened to what Obama talked about, okay? We paid attention and we followed, okay? What the rest of the world was doing, I don't know. I don't know what y'all was doing, okay? But y'all wasn't ready. And that's the big key right there. Y'all wasn't ready. Now, I'm going to say, I had some extra people living in my home at the time. And this going to have to be a two podcast, so I might have to do it back to back. I had some people living at my house at the time, and they were just eating up all my little stuff that I had set for something like this. So they put me behind the 8 ball, you know, and I'm like, I had half, but not all of what I had planned for, you know. And my freezer had a lot of vegetables, not too much meat. I had to prepare. Okay, again. Okay, not fully, half prepared. So I went out and tried to get what I could off the shelves as well for my family. Because I didn't know how long this stuff was going to go on. I didn't know how long they was going to allow us to even help the people that couldn't help themselves. So once that stops, it stops us as well. Okay? So I had to prepare fast. You know, when they sent out stimulus checks, I didn't get full stimulus check, which I should have, but I didn't. I took that money and put it into my household. Okay? Bought more toilet paper, bought more paper towels, bought more laundry detergent, bought more food to make sure we had what we had. Okay? Needed. And shout out to Egypt. You know, Egypt, 11 years old, 10 at the time. She went out there every day with me. Every single day. And she was a model for the kids, you know, of what we need to do. Stay 6 feet. Make sure your hands sanitize. Shout out to the cart cleaners. I want to shout them out because they're the ones that stand at the door. Boring job, boring, boring, boring. But they had to stand there for so many hours waiting for people to come, wiping down their carts so they can go in the market and do the shopping. Okay? People don't realize how serious this thing really was out here. And a lot of us survived it. That's why they called us essential workers. Shout out to some of my friends here in Charlotte that worked at the hospitals. I couldn't do it. I give them thumbs up because they was out there, doing it, and in the real midst of the sick. I was out there in the midst of the sick too, but I was able to escape it. You know what I mean? I was able to dodge it a little bit. When you're playing basketball, you can dodge it a little bit, okay? And that's how I was, out here serving the people. Like I told y'all, many a day I pulled up and you walk up to the door to bring them food, they snatch the door open. And I'm saying to myself now, and sometimes it be nurses and doctors, okay? Because they've been at work all day with all the COVID patients. And here they come snatching the door open like, hey, you got the food? Because I'm hungry. And you're looking at them like, oh my God, you are the COVID. And that's how I used to look at them people. I would never tell y'all a lie. I would say, I see them in their scrubs and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. 6 feet. Y'all the ones that I need to stay 6 feet from. Because they were the ones that were coming in contact with everybody. So, I felt the need to have to stay away from them. Like they were the zombies. They were the biggest zombies. They was the head honcho zombies, okay? Because they came in contact with the actual people that were diagnosed with this bacteria in their body. So it's something that y'all have to think about. You know what I mean? When COVID hit, I already had hand sanitizer. I always have hand sanitizer. Okay? I'm big on that. Anybody can tell y'all that. Washing hands. When you walk in my house, you gotta wash your hands. It ain't because I'm older now, y'all. Ain't none of that. When I got sick back in 2009 and almost lost my life, I learned a big part of this, staying away from people, making sure my hands stay clean, making sure the people that are around me stay clean. I sprayed out my house. If y'all noticed, before COVID came, I was putting on Facebook, get your Lysol, get your disinfectants, okay? Were y'all listening? Maybe some was, the rest of y'all wasn't. And this is why a lot of y'all suffered running around here trying to get food and disinfectant for your house. If you keep it, you don't have to worry when something bad like this happens, okay? So, with that being said, when y'all sit back and y'all talk about how Trump he's unworthy because of what he did to our health concerns, y'all did it to your own health concerns, okay? If you wasn't cleaning your house with disinfectant every single day or every 3 days or whatever the case may be, you did that to yourself. Why you didn't have what you needed, okay? If you can't afford to buy the brand, they have other brands that does the same job. Nobody said it had to be Clorox or Lysol. Okay, they have other brands that work as well. Okay, I know I've used them because there was times I couldn't afford Lysol, and I would buy the Walmart brand, and it worked because nobody in my house got sick. Okay. Wiping down your kids' toys and, disinfecting the place, period. Especially when people are coming in and out. Okay, so these are things y'all should have been doing before COVID, before Trump, before Obama. It doesn't matter. Y'all can't blame somebody for something that y'all done to yourselves. And that's my point. Okay? It's wrong. And God is watching. Okay? You are responsible for your family. Okay? And the government is the overseer. Now, the government could have said, hey, ain't no movement. We shutting down everything but the hospitals. What y'all was going to do? What y'all going to do? Because y'all wasn't ready. Y'all wasn't ready. The hunters might have survived. But then we don't know if the animals had COVID too. I told you I seen one of my geese bleeding out the butt. Okay? What was that about? We don't know. Okay? So we don't know what was really happening here in America. But was y'all ready? No. Y'all can't point the finger at other people. Take responsibility for your actions. Okay? And that's what I'm angry about when it comes to this quarantine COVID thing. Okay? Like I said, right is right and wrong is wrong. You know? Okay. Granted, with the and I'm going to say it again, the riots and the police, that's something totally different. And y'all have to deal with Trump on that note. But when it came to our health and safety, I'm sorry, I have to give it to him. Because he did what was right. Because I would have done differently. And I'm trying to tell y'all. And we would have had a lot more dead people on our hands. Okay? So, we have to think about the kids, the next generation surviving. Okay? Yeah, we was able to order on Amazon or Walmart.com. And they can bring it to our houses. But guess what? Those people were getting COVID as well. And this is why they were shutting down all the factories. Okay, so in an event where they had to shut down every operating building that has food, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I just want you to think about that. What will you do if October comes and COVID does a major spike, but you're not ready? What are you going to do? Tell me. I'm going to tell you the story about, this is when the riot things started coming into play. I went to Aldi's, right? And this is why I really don't support Aldi's anymore. Now, I'm an essential worker out here shopping for people, to make sure that they get food. And, me and Egypt share hand sanitizer, okay? And it goes fast because we have to use it, a lot. I put hand sanitizer on my hands within a day's time, I would say over 100 times. Okay, when I'm out, especially doing Instacart. And with me and Egypt using hand sanitizer, it goes really, really, really fast. So, when we store it, we would grab some. Even if we had some at home, we would grab, because this is what we're out here doing. We don't know when the next batch of hand sanitizer is going to come in. Well, we were at Aldi's, okay, and the lady said, you can only purchase one, per shopper. Everybody knows Egypt has her own card, so she can swipe wherever she goes and buy whatever she wants. So I was online to swipe with my hand sanitizer, and she had her little card to buy her hand sanitizer. The manager told me that she couldn't buy her own hand sanitizer and made a tizzy about it and refused to sell it to us. Okay, sell it to her. I was able to get mine. Egypt wasn't able to get hers. Okay. 2 days later was rioting. They tore up the store. Okay. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't even out there. But I just want to show y'all how karma comes back to you. Okay, when we rolled past, the windows were broke out, you know. She didn't look at the fact of I was doing a service for the people, and I'm being in contact with people on everyday basis. Sometimes 20 people, 30 people a day. Okay? I'm coming in contact with going to their homes. Okay, let's go into their homes. We were taking 2 and 3 batches at a time. Okay? Being underpaid just to make sure that these people get food. Okay? They look at it as one batch, but you got 3 customers. So we were doing 3 customers touch base in one order at one time to help these people get food and get it fast. Because it started getting to the point where one lady told me, let me tell you about this. Lady had put in her order for food a week prior. And I caught her batch. She said she put it in on a Wednesday of the following week, and I didn't get it until that Thursday of that following week. And when I pulled up with the food, okay, I ain't never in my life seen people so happy. You hit me? For food. For food, people. The family stood in the door and they just looked at me. It was like, thank you, thank you. And they rushed down. They was like, no, we'll take it out the car for you. You don't have to do the work. We'll do it. And they grabbed their bags. And I just stepped back and I let them grab their stuff out the car, you know, and get their food. They was like, thank you. Somebody picked up our batch. Finally. We were so happy. And I'm like, wow, you know. Y'all would not believe how many people have prayed beside me. How many people have thanked me in any way possible because they couldn't get out to the store or couldn't go and get food to feed their families. People that wanted to hug me but knew that they couldn't. People that would give me tips just for the appreciation of me being that warrior able to go out there and get that food for them. People would call my name, Jacqueline, Jacqueline. And I'm looking at them like, why are you calling my name? But they had to give me that praise. Okay, y'all understand where I'm going with this? I had one elderly lady, she said, Jacqueline, will I see you again? And a tear came down my eye, and I said, I don't know. I don't know. If your batch come up, I might get it. And you know, I started to say, ma'am, give me your number. And if you need me, call me. I mean, here's my number. If you need me, call me. But that's not what I was there for. I was there to do the job. And it just hurt so bad to see a lot of these people struggle throughout the COVID, and they were hungry. Okay? And this is why I'm taking up for what y'all call mistreatment of America in health and well-being. Okay? Y'all tell me about mistreatment when y'all got up off your tail and went out here every day to service the people of that had COVID. Okay? Y'all tell me the mistreatment when you got up every day and went to these people's homes to make sure that they eat. Y'all tell me about mistreatment when all of the supermarket workers got up every day knowing that COVID was out here and still came to work to put whatever came in off those trucks on them shelves so y'all can get it. Y'all tell me that. Okay? But while y'all sitting at home waiting for people to bring stuff to y'all, or ordering stuff online, of course y'all wouldn't know the facts. And the facts is